I have to be careful removing the tape from the fretboard because the lacquer tends to come over the top of the tape a little bit, and if I don't remove that intersection between the tape and the lacquer, when I peel the tape off, the lacquer might chip, and you'd see these little chips along the edges of the fretboard. So first I go across the ends of the frets with a file, and that takes care of some of the buildup of lacquer. And then after I have that done, I use a razor blade and just do a couple scrapes at each fret position, and that really cuts right in, and then I have much less chance of having a chip in the edge of the fretboard. Then in the nut slot, I use a file to break that bridging between the lacquer and the tape, because I don't want to get chips either at the bottom of the nut or along the front edge of the peghead veneer. So this reduces the chances of that happening. Doesn't guarantee anything, but it works well enough that I always take the time to do this. And of course, if I get a chip, I'll repair it. I don't want to have to do that if I can avoid it. Now I'll use this knife blade to clean up the edges of the fretboard. There's a little bit of lacquer and polishing compound that snuck under the tape. So get all that cleaned up. Got a couple of nails in the holes that I drilled before I started putting the finish on, so I can line the bridge up exactly where I thought it should be several weeks ago. And I'm just going to double check the alignment, make sure I am still where I want it to be. Yep. Okay, so that looks good, and I'll get the bridge glued on now. Well, there's the bridge glued in place. Nothing very elaborate for a clamping fixture, just a couple of cam clamps. It doesn't take very much pressure because I had a good fit of the bridge to the top before I even started putting the finish on. So I can see I've got pretty good glue squeeze out, and in a few minutes, once the glue kind of crusts over, I'll take the tape off, and then I won't have too much left on the surface of the wood. So that'll be it. I'll let this sit overnight and it'll be ready for the next step.